Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with my buddy, Coach Hobbs.
Peace.
Mark Hobley, coached a long time Pensacola High and taught science there for years.
Yeah.
All right, we got a good special guest, and my next door neighbor, Jayce Dotson. Jayce, thanks for being on the show today, buddy.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for inviting me. I'm really excited to do this. I know we've been talking about it for a while, so.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while, but we always start at the beginning, your mom and dad. I want to start with your mom. We had her on the show. She won the Billie Jean King Award for youth underprivileged tennis across the country, a national award. She went to the U.S. Open last year. Let's start with your mom. What a great athlete, what a super coach. And did you learn a lot from your mom growing up?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely in like the competitive sense. I mean, I spent a lot of my time growing up when I was younger up at the tennis courts with her and with my dad, watching them teach, but also watching them play. So I got like that competitive drive pretty early on. Yeah,
so you started playing tennis, and I guess you were pretty young when you started soccer, right? You started like 4 or 5 years old, and if I'm not mistaken, your older cousins were a big influence on that.
Yeah, so thankfully they kind of got me started with soccer and tennis and some other sports pretty early on, which I'm thankful for. But soccer definitely became the primary one, especially because I had a set of cousins, triplets, actually, that, I mean, they're about 7 years older, and I just grew up always watching them play soccer and just seeing them being on the team and just how much they loved it just inspired me to play the sport.
Absolutely. Your older cousins. It was my older brothers. I had 3 older brothers. You had 3 older cousins. And then you started playing club soccer, I think, at around 12 or 14. And most of your club soccer buddies went to Gulf Breeze. So talk about that journey. And around 14, you started specializing in soccer.
Yeah, so I started off playing soccer just at the Gulf Breeze Recreation Center, just getting into it really. And then I had seen a couple of my friends start playing for, at the time it was Bayside Dynamo, a club soccer team. And so I think we kind of made that decision around like 12, 13 years old that this was going to be my sport. And so it was time to get into club soccer and start taking it a little bit more seriously.
Okay, you decided to go to Gulf Breeze. Talk about that experience, your coaches, some of your teammates, and I think you scored 60 goals in 60 games at Gulf Breeze.
Yeah.
Talk about your teammates and your buddies and your coach.
Yeah, so thankfully I was able to go to Gulf Breeze. A lot of my Bayside club teammates lived down the highway or in Gulf Breeze proper, so they were all going to be going there. And so I made the decision to go there just to be with them mainly, but also, soccer was important to me. There's going to be a new coach at Gulf Breeze, Austin King. So it was going to be his first year as well as our first year. And it just felt right to go over there and just be with all my friends mainly. And then, yeah, obviously I had a pretty good career at Gulf Breeze playing there, scoring a lot of goals, and I love the environment and just everything about the team there was we were more than just a team. It was like more like a family sometimes.
Did you guys go to the playoffs in those years?
Let's see. We I believe my freshman year we did not. We were kind of like building back. They hadn't had much success the past couple years. So my freshman year we did not, but then my sophomore, junior, and senior year, we were able to get out of the districts and, go play some regional games. We unfortunately, never had too much success there, but to have that experience and, represent the Panhandle was awesome.
How did you decide to pick Palm Beach Atlantic to play soccer? It's a Division II school in soccer, correct?
Correct. So Palm Beach Atlantic is, at the time, my senior year of high school, I had been to a couple ID camps down there, and the facilities were amazing. The coaches were really welcoming and nice, as well were the players. And at the time, they had, it was the past like 4 years they had like a 70 and like 19 record. You know, it was a really winning program that that made the national tournament a few years in a row. So I think just like seeing that success and wanting to be a part of it was a big drive in pursuing that.
So when did you go to Mississippi College at Texas A&M International?
Yeah, so I did my freshman year at Palm Beach Atlantic at PBA, which was the COVID year, so we didn't compete that fall. Right. And then I did a second year at PBA, and then I made the decision I wanted to be a little bit closer to home. Obviously, It doesn't sound like it would be closer, like I'm going from Florida to Mississippi, but Mississippi College is only about a 4-hour drive from Pensacola. So I would be able to be closer. You know, my parents could come visit. I could make trips home. And I just had some good talks with the coach and felt pretty confident about, you know, transferring over there.
So you get out, you graduate, and you wanted to be a physical therapist. Was that what your major was in?
Correct. My major was exercise science with a physical therapy. I had like all the prerequisites for physical therapy, and so I still do see that as a like potentially in my future going back to PT school. But I mean, I figured right now I still have so much love for the game that, you know, it would be difficult to take a break from soccer and then want to come back and play. I figured, let me just throw it all in right now and go for it. And
all right. So how did you get hooked up with this team in Australia's National Premier League? Let's see. What was the name of them again?
Yeah, the first team I went to was Ugali Soccer Club.
Ugali Soccer Club.
And,
okay.
Yeah, correct. And they play in the capital. The NPL, the National Premier League in Australia, is separated by the states. They play in Canberra, in the capital. So I had previously had a couple friends, you know, do that, play in college and then go to Australia and continue playing. And so they worked with an agency, and I then reached out to that agency, got connected. They were able to find me a pretty good move, so it worked out really well.
How cool. Let's talk about this experience. I mean, we could talk about the games, but I want to talk about the other things like the culture and the people and the food and the, you know, what was that? Must have been a great experience because I don't think you knew many people when you went over there.
No, yeah, I pretty much packed up and went by myself, but it was a big shock, especially to be just so far away from home. You know, there's not really. There's no weekend getaways to make a little trip back home. You know, once you get over there, you're there. So there's a brief period, like an adjustment period. It took me a little while to settle in, but once I did, man, like I loved it. It was amazing. Just the people there are so nice and welcoming, and just really took me in, especially at the club I was at, the Ugali. They took me in like one of their own, and it was amazing.
Well, like I know you scored 7 goals in 12 games, and then you got transferred to the Playford City Patriots. What was the difference between the Ugali team and the Playford City Patriots? And what was like a typical week out there? You know, because you didn't practice every day. Did you get to go sightseeing, or what was your typical week from Monday through Sunday?
Yeah, so especially after I made the move over to Playford City Patriots, so we would train Tuesday and Thursday nights and have a game on Saturday. We also had like a running program we had to do throughout the week, just kind of on your own time.
Right.
But I mean, so a week for me would be like Monday, I'd take care of my gym stuff and my running program stuff, and then I would go. So Playford was in Adelaide in South Australia, and so I would take care of all the things I needed to get done, and then I would have plenty of time to go around the city, you know, take the train down to the city and just explore.
How cool.
And then
how cool. Yeah. And then you practice at night. Did you have to have a part-time job, or did they pay for your housing and food?
Yeah, so in the contract they paid for my accommodation, which was really helpful. Like in the sense that you don't have to worry about finding a place or
Right.
paying rent week by week. So that's very
Right.
helpful. And yeah, I mean they're very accommodating. And then, but at the first club I was at Ugali, I did work part time at a winery actually. So that wasn't too bad. But
What an
but then I
experience.
made no, it was awesome just being around that, staying busy really. And
Yeah.
then but after I made the move over to Adelaide, I kind of figured I would hold off on getting a part-time job or anything just because I was going to be in such a big city, nicer city. I wanted to just fully take advantage of that and just get around and see everything and meet people.
Well, you played well over there. You showed yourself well. Did they want you back? Is there another step up forward? Is coaching in your future? What do you think you're going to try next?
Yeah, so right now I'm pretty undecided about what's going to be next. I'd say there's definitely a chance of returning to Australia. I've already had a couple teams reach out and approach me about the possibility. It's just like I mentioned before, it is very, very far away.
Right.
But soccer is 100% my future. Whether I believe like while I'm home, I'm just going to help out and do some part-time coaching and then, look for whatever's next. It could potentially be Australia. I'm also potentially looking about the possibility to go over to Europe, which would be another amazing experience.
Yeah, we had a couple of soccer pros from overseas in Europe on our show. New York Cosmos
Nice.
also. Yeah, we will get together and get you some contacts and get the ball rolling there. Good for you. I think I think there might be coaching in your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I watched my mom and dad do it, especially my mom do it for so many years, and just to see like the joy and everything that she can spread through it. I mean, I think it's addicting, to be able to help.
That award she won last year, that was really a prestigious event, man. You guys had to be so proud of her.
Yes, it was amazing. And then I watched her on the show with you, and just to see her, getting her kudos and just getting her credit is just, I'm so proud.
She deserves it. She deserves all the flowers she gets.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Jayce.
Yeah. All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, man. Appreciate you being on the show. And after the show, come look at my printer for me, buddy. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'll come see what I can do. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Tell mom and dad we said, hey, we'll see you in a little bit.
Of course. All right.
Okay, buddy.
I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you, bud. What a great kid, man.
Wow. That's a lot of experience right there.
Yeah.
For a young guy.
What a great time to go over there and get different cultures. You better do it while you're young. He loves the sport. Yes. And, that's to love a sport. I think it takes you to another level. I was watching College Game Day today, and Rich Rodriguez or somebody was on there. I can't remember who it was, but they find that the kid, when they recruit somebody, it's not just about how fast they can run or how high they can jump. They want to see the heart. They want to try to measure the heart. How much do you love the game? Really love it. If you don't really like it, you're interested in doing something else. Those are the kind of people you don't really want. All right, there's a lot to talk about still.
Yes.
High school football, college football this weekend, and we got a lot of notes, so we're going to take the time to use them. High school football, where you and I were 7-3. KP was 5-5, so that's our stance from last week. Couple upsets.
Yeah.
But, first week's always a little bit sloppy. We were just kind of disappointed in some of the penalties and stuff. I don't know if any of you guys witnessed it, but we were there at the West Florida Scambia game when they got in a big fight. So I heard those guys are paying severe consequences. So coaches, have a talk with your kids, man. Tell them the consequences of, acting foolish like that. All right, let's get to it. High school week 2. Washington 0-0, haven't played yet. First week off at West Florida, 1-0 after a 18-13 win versus Scambia. Hard to pick this game for me because I got friends that coach both sides. But I'm taking Washington in an upset maybe over West Florida.
I like that pick as well. West Florida's coming off a 4-day rest. Big emotional game Friday night.
Yep.
I would expect just a little letdown from those guys.
4 of them that got in the fight aren't playing.
Yeah.
That's what we hear.
Yep.
All right. So, we'll tell you some more information when we get it. We don't want to gossip anything that we don't know. Scambia 0-1 at Niceville 1-0. Scambia is, I can just imagine Coach Bennett and those guys are doing this week. But Niceville is a tough road to hoe, man.
Yeah.
We're taking Niceville in a close game. I think Scambia keep it close.
Well, we hope so. Scambia's coming off a 4-day rest as well. Niceville's coming. Niceville has a brand new coach this year. The guy that was there last year was 64-10, and this guy starts off in Tallahassee with a loss to Tallahassee Lincoln. He wants to win at home.
Yep.
Very
Niceville's no
bad.
place else around here. If you want the old high school flavor and atmosphere of high school football, go to a Niceville football game. Pine Forest 1-0 at Daphne, who's 1-0. They beat McGill-Tulane last week, 29-28. I think I'm going to take Daphne in this one over Pine Forest.
I like that pick as well. I think this will be a defensive ball game. I know you said something like 17-13. I think it might be
Lower.
Yes.
Right. Two defenses. Offense is still trying to find themselves on those teams. Gulf Breeze with their new coach, former NFL player Eric Harris, trying to rebuild. You can't build Rome in a day. Okay, it's going to take a while. So Gulf Breeze 0-1 up against at Tate 1-0. Rhett Sumford's got Tate playing well. Their little sophomore quarterback, but they got talent all over. I think they'll beat them by 2-3 touchdowns. They beat Fort Walton Beach last week 21-7. I'm getting Tate.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the Aggies at home. They've got to tough it up Breeze for a year or two. So let's take Tate.
Yeah, let's give them some grace. Milton 1-0. That's right, my old buddy Coach Ronnie Douglas beating Crestview in overtime. Congratulations, Coach.
Yes.
You and Sawyer Smith and all the boys.
Yes.
Man, you deserve it already. Shock the world. Tell him. I text that to Sawyer Smith. I tell you, shock the world. Milton 0-10 last year, 1-0 already, and they take on at PHS. PHS doesn't have the horses, down a little bit this year. I'm taking Milton over PHS.
I feel the same way. Milton over PHS. Milton's coming off a good high. PHS fought very hard in that 29-0 loss. I saw Mr. Cameron Hamilton yesterday, and those guys have their head up. I look for Milton beating PHS in the close.
In a close one, yes, I do agree. They're not going to get no blowing out here. They're going to have pride there at PHS. Catholics 1-0, and they play at Pace, who's 0-1 because they lost to Mary Montgomery last week by 2 touchdowns. Wow, that was kind of shocking to me. I don't know. Mary Montgomery must be a powerhouse in Alabama because Pace is strong as train smoke. I'm gonna take Pace over Catholic in a close game, maybe 38-35, something like that.
I feel the same way. I like Pace in this one here. Pace had a critical turnover late in the ball game. They were going in for the game time drive and turned it over on a fumble or something like that. The running back had 235 yards. Pace will bounce back this week. Look for the Patriots to go 1-1.
You guys don't even want me to go into my notes from last week's high school football games.
Yeah.
It was just so sad, man. Just so sad. Come on, man. Let's go, teams. I'm not going to give the speech I gave at halftime in the middle of the stands to Hobbs and all those guys. I was fired up about the discipline, man. I was just fired up. All right, Op 0-0, haven't played yet. At Northview 0-1, who lost to Destin, E.G. Green's team, who's really improving by the week almost. They lost to them 37-2, but Northview is I just think they're going to lose to Op. Op's a pretty good program.
Yep. Op beat them bad last year.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Let's go with Op.
All right, Navarre 0-1 at Choctaw 1-0. We watched Choctaw against Milton, who played them tough, played pretty even. Choctaw is a playoff team. Does that mean Milton is? We'll have to wait and see, but Navarre is not a playoff team anymore. Yeah. Sadly enough, their schedule is brutal. How many playoff teams they play this year?
7.
That's ridiculous.
7 from the 2024 season.
They
Yep.
might only win just 1 or 2 games. That's
Yes.
it. Navarre. So we got Choctaw on that one. That's easy pick. Jay 1-0 at Freeport 1-0. Freeport's usually a pretty good program, but Jay's got it rolling up there.
Yes.
I think we both taking Jay as well. Right.
Yep.
All right.
Central's open.
Central's open.
Central's open this week. They got big 31-0 to Franklin County.
Yep,
Second year of the program.
Yep. And Baker at Destin, which I think is a great game, a great high school football game over there in Destin. So go watch Baker and them play. All right, college football, the big games, right? Number 1, Texas at Ohio State, who's 1.5 point underdogs. No, they're favorites. Yeah, Ohio State, the 1.5 point favorite over the number 1 team. We already made our picks in these games. LSU at Clemson at 6:30. That's the night game. Clemson, that quarterback, Klubnik, what's his name? Whatever. 46 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions.
Last year.
Wow, last year. Yeah, so they're at home. Clemson's tough to beat at home. So is LSU, but I'm taking the home team in that one. I think everybody is. LSU's lost 5 opening games 5 years in a row. Alabama at FSU. I think everybody's pretty sure Alabama's going to take care of business, but FSU is going to come out firing in the first half. It's going to be interesting. Everybody, we're just going to see. We're going to see where those 2 teams are. Everybody, the big 4, right? Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Florida State in this territory here in Pensacola, in the redneck Riviera of the Panhandle. It's a montage. It's a smorgasbord of fans, and unlike any place I've ever seen. So there's almost equal Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Florida State. Florida and Florida State coaches, I guess you could say they're on the hot seat. They've been given 5 years, each of them.
Billy Napier, I think, is going to do a pretty good job down there if they're patient with him. He'll get them back.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think they're on the right track more than FSU is. Syracuse, my hometown, at Tennessee. They're pumped up there in upstate New York, but wait till they go and play in 100 that damn Rocky Top song. I hate that song. I think I lost 3 years in a row to Tennessee at Alabama. That's why I'm bitter. All right, they're 13-point favorites. Well, I'll take the points at Syracuse. They're all anxious, and we'll see where those 2 teams are as well. Notre Dame at Miami. Of course, Notre Dame lost in the national championship game last year. I like Marcus Freeman. I heard their defense is outstanding. Well, it better be at Miami because Cristobal is spinning his crystal ball.
Okay.
mean, that guy, I thought he would turn him around 2 years ago, and it didn't happen. Last year, a lot better last year. That guy knows how to coach offensive linemen. So that's going to be a good matchup to watch. Miami's offensive line against Notre Dame's defensive line, and then the other good game this year, the big game this weekend, South Carolina versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, I think, is getting 8 points. So those are the games. Top 25. Right. Who's your top 25 teams? Argo update: UWF Argos host their opening game Friday night against Lenoir-Rhyne University in the whiteout here at Penn Air Field. Why Friday, Hubs?
Why Friday?
Don't take away the high school kids' games. You lose fans and everything else. I think it's because of TV. Maybe they're the only Division II team that's playing, and it is 2 ranked teams. Okay, Lenoir-Rhyne, UWF's number 8 in the country. Lenoir-Rhyne 17.
Is this game on national TV?
It must be because it's the only Division II team.
Okay.
Division II game that's played on Friday night. Head coach Caleb Nobles enters his 3rd year. They finished 7-3 last year, but they nearly missed the playoffs for the first time in like 4 years. They got their program rolling. All right, Hobbs. That about wraps it up.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank Jayce Dotson for being on the show. Thanks for coming over.
Thanks,
Jayce.
And
hanging out with me. Yeah, thanks, Jayce. Hope everybody has a great sports week. I want to thank these sponsors for sponsoring my show. We got some new sponsors coming up next month. We'll tell you all about it coming up then. Have a great sports week, everybody.
Peace.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner.
Hey, Bama fans, this is Will Moore, president of the Pensacola Bama Club. You can find us at PensacolaBamaClub.com. We are your official alumni chapter in the Pensacola and surrounding areas. Membership is available to all alumni and all Bama fans, so come see us at one of our many events throughout the year. Our Bama football watch parties are the next best thing to being in Bryant-Denny Stadium. We even serve authentic stadium hot dogs. Membership, event, and contact information will be found on our website at PensacolaBamaClub.com. Roll Tide.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on your home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Will Rentschler is your go-to agent in Pensacola, Florida for the service you deserve at the price that you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Will Rentschler has you covered. Call 850-433-4678 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Legal disclaimer, individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
For 30 years, you have seen the orange Beck signs all over the Gulf Coast listing a property for sale or lease. Beck Partners is your trusted advisor in commercial real estate, property management, commercial and personal insurance. Senior Vice President David Valletto has been with Beck Partners since 1989. Take advantage of his wealth of knowledge by calling him today at 982-7352, 982-7352. Extensive experience in all aspects of leasing, sales, management, and site selection will make sure your expectations are exceeded.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at HillKellyDodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.